Inside a grand kung fu school, a towering man stood before two very mismatched opponents. One of them, a disciplined martial artist with razor-sharp focus, moved with precision and calm. This was Inspector Lee, a renowned detective from Hong Kong. Beside him was his unlikely partner, Detective James Carter, a loud and brash LAPD officer who relied more on his wit and charm than actual skill in a fight. "Man, are you sure you're not Godzilla's cousin?" Carter quipped nervously, craning his neck to meet the giant's gaze. Lee said nothing, his eyes locked on the man's every move, his body poised like a coiled spring. The fight erupted in a flurry of action. Lee dodged and countered with precise kicks and strikes, using his agility to outmaneuver the behemoth, while Carter flailed around, shouting one-liners and trying not to get hit. This was just another day in the lives of Lee and Carter, two detectives from opposite sides of the world who somehow worked together to solve impossible cases. But how did these two polar opposites become partners? To find out, we need to rewind to the beginning, to a day in Los Angeles when a kidnapping brought their worlds colliding together for the first time. This is the story of Rush Hour series, where it all began. The film begins in Hong Kong, where Detective Inspector Lee, a skilled martial artist and top investigator, is on a mission to recover Chinese artifacts stolen by the notorious crime lord Juntao. Lee infiltrates the smuggling operation, outmaneuvering Juntao's men with his agility, precision, and combat skills. In an intense action scene, Lee faces a group of armed smugglers, disarming and defeating them with his signature acrobatics and resourcefulness. He successfully secures the artifacts, delivering a major blow to Juntao's empire. 2 months later, Ambassador Han, formerly stationed in Hong Kong, moves to Los Angeles to begin his diplomatic duties. He brings his young daughter, Su Young, with him, hoping for a fresh start. However, tragedy strikes when Juntao's men, led by his ruthless Lieutenant Sang, ambush Su Young's car on her way to school. In a tense sequence, Sang holds the driver at gunpoint, and Su Young is kidnapped despite her brave attempt to escape. Distraught, Ambassador Han contacts his trusted ally, Inspector Lee, to help rescue his daughter. However, the FBI, handling the case, does not want a foreign detective interfering in their investigation. To sideline Lee, they assign LAPD Detective James Carter, Chris Tucker, a cocky and loudmouthed cop, to keep him occupied. Carter initially underestimates Lee, assuming he's just a clueless foreigner. However, Lee quickly proves his skills in a hilarious and action-packed sequence at the airport, where he evades Carter's attempts to keep him contained. Lee uses his martial arts to outmaneuver Carter, scaling walls, disarming officers, and escaping in style. Carter, frustrated but impressed, reluctantly teams up with Lee to find Su Young. The investigation leads the duo to Chinatown, where Lee's sharp instincts uncover clues about Juntao's operations. In one standout action moment, Lee confronts a gang in a pool hall.
"What's up, my nigga?"
Single-handedly defeating them using everyday objects as weapons, showcasing his creative fighting style. Carter provides comedic relief, struggling to keep up but gradually earning Lee's respect. As the two dig deeper, they discover that Juntao's ransom demand, $50 million, is tied to the artifacts Lee seized in Hong Kong. The case takes them to a gala at the Los Angeles Convention Center, hosted to celebrate Chinese heritage. Ambassador Han plans to deliver the ransom, but Lee and Carter devise a plan to stop the exchange and save Su Young. In the film's climactic showdown, Lee confronts Sang and Juntao, revealed to be Thomas Griffin, a seemingly trustworthy British diplomat and ally of Ambassador Han. Lee's agility and combat skills shine as he chases Sang through the rafters of the convention center, narrowly avoiding falls and taking out henchmen. In a heart-stopping moment, Lee rescues Su Young, defusing a bomb strapped to her with seconds to spare. Meanwhile, Carter proves his worth by creating a distraction and outsmarting Juntao's men. Lee and Carter work together to defeat Juntao, who falls to his death while trying to escape with the ransom. With Su Young safe and the criminals defeated, Lee and Carter celebrate their victory, solidifying their unlikely friendship. And Carter decides to take a vacation to Hong Kong with Lee, hinting at their next adventure. Then James Carter is on vacation, enjoying the sights, food, and culture. However, his plans for relaxation are quickly disrupted when his friend, Inspector Lee, is called to investigate a bombing at the U.S. Consulate General. The explosion killed 2 undercover U.S. Customs agents, raising tensions between the U.S. and China. Lee is deeply invested in the case, as it's connected to Ricky Tan, a former Hong Kong police officer turned triad leader. Ricky Tan was once Lee's father's partner, and Lee suspects him of being involved in both the bombing and his father's mysterious death. Carter, reluctant at first, tags along, bringing his trademark humor and loudmouth antics into the mix. Their first stop is a high-end nightclub owned by Ricky Tan. While Carter hilariously tries to charm a lounge singer, Lee zeroes in on Ricky Tan and his gang. The tension escalates when Hu Li, a deadly and silent assassin working for Tan, attacks Lee. In a thrilling action sequence, Lee takes on multiple triad members, using his martial arts skills and environmental objects, like chairs and pool cues, to fend off attackers. Carter stumbles into the fight, adding chaos and comedy to the brawl. Ricky Tan escapes, leaving Lee frustrated. Following a lead, the duo heads to a luxurious yacht party hosted by Ricky Tan. Lee confronts Tan, accusing him of orchestrating the bombing, but Tan plays innocent, claiming he's being set up by higher powers. Just as Lee begins to question him, Hu Li plants a bomb on the yacht. In a heart-pounding sequence, Lee and Carter narrowly escape as the yacht explodes. Ricky Tan is presumed dead, but Lee is skeptical, suspecting that Tan staged his death. The investigation takes them to Los Angeles, where they uncover that the bombing and Tan's operation are tied to a counterfeit money scheme. The trail leads them to Las Vegas in the Red Dragon Casino, owned by Stephen Rain, a corrupt businessman working with Ricky Tan. At the casino, Carter embraces the glitz and glamour, enjoying the nightlife and flirting with the staff. Meanwhile, Lee remains focused, discovering the counterfeit plates used to print the fake currency. In one memorable scene, Lee sneaks into the casino's vault, battling security guards in a jaw-dropping display of martial arts, while Carter distracts the staff with his over-the-top antics. The climax takes place in the casino's penthouse, where Ricky Tan is revealed to be alive, orchestrating the counterfeit operation with Stephen Rain. Tan taunts Lee, bringing up their shared history and Lee's father's death. The confrontation turns physical as Lee and Tan engage in an intense fight. Meanwhile, Carter faces off against Hu Li, who wields a deadly knife and explosives. In a nail-biting sequence, Carter uses his quick thinking to outsmart her, although it's Lee who ultimately stops her from detonating a bomb that could destroy the casino. In a tragic yet satisfying twist, Hu Li accidentally triggers the bomb while trying to kill Lee and Carter. The explosion takes her life and destroys the penthouse, but Lee and Carter manage to escape with the counterfeit plates. With Ricky Tan dead and the counterfeit operation dismantled, Lee and Carter celebrate their victory in classic buddy cop style. Carter, impressed by Lee's dedication and heroism, decides to extend his vacation in Hong Kong, setting the stage for more adventures to come. By the way, James Carter is now working as a traffic cop after being demoted for his reckless behavior. Meanwhile, Inspector Lee is serving as a bodyguard for Ambassador Han, who is about to reveal vital information about the mysterious triad leader known as Shai Shen during a meeting at the World Criminal Court in Los Angeles. Just as Han begins his speech, a sniper fires, critically wounding him. Lee gives chase to the shooter, only to discover that it is his estranged brother, Kenji. Lee hesitates, allowing Kenji to escape, leaving him shaken and conflicted. Carter, eager to redeem himself, jumps back into action to help Lee uncover the truth behind the assassination attempt. Their investigation leads them to Paris, where the triads have deep connections and are working to protect the secret of Shai Shen. Upon arrival, the duo faces hostility from local authorities, particularly the uptight French Inspector Revy, who doesn't take them seriously. Despite this, Lee and Carter persist, determined to track down Kenji and uncover Shai Shen's identity. In Paris, they meet Genevieve, a nightclub performer and key witness who holds the secret to identifying Shai Shen. The triads, aware of her importance, launch a series of attacks to silence her. In a thrilling action scene at the nightclub, Lee uses his martial arts prowess to fend off multiple attackers while Carter provides comedic backup, turning an otherwise deadly confrontation into a chaotic and entertaining spectacle. The pair manage to rescue Genevieve and learn that Shai Shen is not a person but a list of names revealing the leaders of the triad organization. As the plot thickens, Lee and Carter are betrayed by a trusted ally, leading to their capture by Kenji's men.
What you talking about? Whoa!
In a tense moment, Kenji reveals his deep resentment toward Lee, blaming him for abandoning their bond as children. The emotional confrontation is cut short when the duo stages a daring escape, involving a mix of Carter's improvised antics and Lee's precise combat skills. They make their way to the Eiffel Tower, where the final showdown takes place. At the tower, Kenji and Lee face off in a high-stakes fight above the city, their personal history adding weight to every punch. Meanwhile, Carter engages in a hilarious yet intense battle with a massive triad henchman, using his quick wit and resourcefulness to gain the upper hand. As the fight reaches its climax, Kenji takes Genevieve hostage, forcing Lee into a difficult choice. In a tragic turn, Kenji falls to his death after a tense struggle, leaving Lee devastated. With the triads defeated and the Shai Shen list secured, Lee and Carter save Genevieve and deliver the information to the authorities. The movie ends with the two friends walking off together, bickering about their next adventure while reaffirming their unbreakable bond.